welcome to MPC Beats. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can make a hip-hop track directly inside the MPC Beats software. So let's dive straight in.
So in this tutorial, we're going to be making a hip-hop track from scratch inside MPC Beats in the style of the great and amazing Dilla. Now, Jay's approach was very off the grid, very unquantized on certain elements. So we're going to cover some of that in the tutorial. So let's dive straight in. Now, I'm using the MPK Mini Mark II Akai controller keyboard. Now, if you're using a different controller, hit MIDI Learn and then navigate to the factory list. And here you can select the keyboard or pad controller that you use. Now, the sounds that I'm using for this project, such as the drums, now these are all generated from some of our MPC Beats Edition expansions, such as New Skills, Premier Beats, Soul Providers 1 and 2 by MSX, and I've also sampled a few Dilla tracks as well, just to add to the feel and groove that we're trying to create. So the first thing we want to do is start off with a sample. So we're going to head over to audio tracks at the top of our screen. Now this means that I can use the audio aspect of MPC Beats by dragging in loops and melodics. So let's head down to our sample pool, and I've got some melodics here that I've actually sampled from Dilla. Let's have a listen. Now this is the one I'm going to be working with. This is going to be the backbone of our beat. So we're going to drag this onto an audio track, and then I'm going to copy this to bar 3. So we've now got 4 bars. And now I'm going to use our inserts to add some lo-fi. So this is what I've added to my inserts. So we can put 4 inserts on this track. So let's turn them on. This is SP1200. Give it some 12-bit. Then some lo-fi, take some of the top off. Then another lo-fi filter. Let's add some like vinyl noise. And then a tube saturation. This adds a bit of clipping. So now let's go back to MIDI. And now we've got our melodic, we're going to work on our beat. So let's head over to our pads. And now let's play some of our samples. Now let's play our groove, and we can work on some different types of pattern ideas that are going to work. So I'm going to start off with my quantize on, and we're going to run it on 1/16. I'm going to use this hi-hat loop that just gives a bit of a natural feel. We're using the ghost note on the snare. So let's hit record. Turn on our metronome. And let's drop this down. Now we can expand our grid so we can see all of our notes. Now this has kept the beat nice and tightly locked in, but using those kind of hi-hats give a nice human feel. Now let's add some more hats. Hit record, overdub. Now this hat's more of an acoustic hat. Got a lot of ambience to the sound. Now we'll add some kind of like very lo-fi vocal, working on the offbeat. Like a reverb snare. So let's go up to our top bank. These is our melodic hits. That's an MSX audio kind of like retro 70s transition. Lovely sound. cut sounds. Now I'm going to add a flute sample. That's from Raw Cuts. So this really gives our beat the whole feel that we're going for. Let's put our last hi-hat down. This is a real loose hi-hat feel. So now we're going to start moving some of our notes. So let's turn our quantize off. Go down to our snare. Now let's expand our grid. So what I'm going to do is pull our snare off the quantize and bring it back. And this is going to make the snare come in early. Now you can feel the laziness now. Now we're going to do the same to our hi-hat, and we're going to pull all of our hi-hats forward. Now this is making the hats really late sounding. So this is making our beat really kind of pull back and forth. So now let's go to track 2, and we're going to add our bass line. Now I'm using a key group for our bass line where I've taken one sample note and expanded it across the keys. So let's go to Program Edit, and basically you select the sample, you make sure that you're using one key group because it's one sound. I'm going to make it mono because it's a bass, and now we can play this on our keys. So let's play our beat and work a bass line out. So let's record this. We've got no quantize on. So once you're confident, let's hit overdub and we're ready to record. Now that we've recorded our bass, let's take overdub off, and we're going to navigate over to our next track. This is track 5, TUBESYNTH. Now this part kind of reminds me of Jazzy Jeff's Summertime and that amazing Kool and the Gang sample. We're just going to be going back and forth with the high and low note on the B flat. So now that we've recorded that part, let's take overdub off, and now we're going to go down to track 4. We're using an F9 Lo-Fi piano that comes with MPC beats. Simple melody. Let's record this down. Overdub. Take overdub off, and let's finish our track with some freestyle solo lead. This is like real retro 70s vibe. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on making a hip-hop track from scratch inside MPC beats. We can use lo-fi filters, effects, beat making, sampling, and MPC beats is completely free. So if you want to learn more about MPC beats, head over to the MPC Beats Academy. See you next time.